Hey everybody, it's Rob Palacha here. This is my weekend update. This is my video journal to you, the things I've been keeping an eye on and that you should know about in regards to mortgaging and home financing. So the big news this week really is that the bond rate has actually settled down. We spent the week before that seeing it grow every week, every day, just keep on going up. The fixed rates shifted a lot and we saw a big jump in most of the fixed rates over that time. That's mainly due to now oil prices settling down as well as the dollar. So these are 5-year Canadian bond rates close around 90 basis points, which is about what it closed the week before. So we've started to seen all of that activity settle down. We'll see what happens over the next few weeks as maybe the price of oil goes down. We might see the dollar and the bond rate shift as well. One thing I've definitely noticed is that there's a lot more competition among the banks in regards to variable rate mortgages. They're becoming much more popular amongst people because you're finally seeing that gap between the fixed and the variable that we haven't seen in quite a while. So if you haven't gotten a rate hold in yet, I would highly recommend to contact me about getting a variable rate hold in. Locking in a deep discount now is great because if for whatever reason the fixed rates do come down, I could see them shoring up the discounts on some of those variable rates. So it's something to keep an eye on that I will definitely let you know about. Speaking of variable rates, actually, something this week that could impact them is obviously the Bank of Canada's announcement on their overnight lending rate. Well, the fact is, I don't really see them moving that at all. Tim Macklem, the governor of the Bank of Canada, has mentioned a few times that until we see the slack in the labor market here in Canada, he has no plans of actually starting to increase that rate. He's expecting that not to change well into 2023. So variable rates are really strong right now. Like I said, let's get a rate hold in for you. Something else that we should consider, sorry, I just flipped my page here, home prices. So, this last week, I can tell you a lot of the offers that I've had coming in, mortgages we're setting up for people have been for purchases that have essentially, they've paid more, right? Everything's been bid up more than the actual asking price. So home prices just keep on moving up. I haven't seen any sort of inclination that it might decline at all. It'll be interesting what the stats are over the next little while, but what's interesting to me, it kind of made me start thinking about what is going to cool down this market. And the truth is, it's likely going to just be government regulation, right? That's what generally tends to put more of that cooling effect on the market, sometimes even shocking it like it did in 2017. And I could see that coming up. The Liberals have their spring budget coming up. That's going to be coming in the next few weeks. I'll definitely keep you posted on that. But there may be something in there that might just start altering regulations on mortgages. So what kind of regulations were we talking about? They generally are, lending factors like the stress test, for example. Maybe that goes up. Maybe the effect on amortizations, can you still use a 30-year amortization? Maybe they'll shore that up a bit. Even refinancing, if people can't refinance as much, they tend not to take out more money to buy investment properties, right? So all these different variables, the regulations they can put together can have a cooling effect on the market. But it usually is temporary, just like in 2017, it took about maybe a year before it started kind of moving up again and again, and then it cooled down again in 2019 a little bit. Rates went up that time. That was actually more of a rate factor. And as soon as that happened, the economy slowed down a bit. What happened? We started lowering rates, and then COVID happened, and we've seen these low rates now that we have now. So you never know what's happening out there, but government regulation seems to be the big steamroller as far as affecting home prices. And it's usually done through the regulation of mortgages and how we are allowed to leverage for home properties, right? So something to keep an eye on, okay, is that spring budget that's coming up. Definitely keep you posted on that. So I wanted to just talk to you about buying and selling a home at the same time. So I've been in the business now, it's going to be 8 years coming up. And a lot of people that I know are, now looking to buy their next property and sell their current one. And it's been interesting how people don't recognize that there's a lot of moving factors in that. And there's a lot of things that you're going to have to assume And the best thing to control those assumptions is planning. One thing that people don't have a clue about, I could tell you right now, is bridge financing. What bridge loans are, how they work. So I put together a little tutorial. I want you to watch it if you could. There's a link below in this email. And of course, contact me if you want to know more. But the truth is, when you're talking about buying and selling a home at the same time, really important that you start with your finances and start planning from there. You want to talk to me about this and talk to your realtor. We can work as a team. Start figuring out, what your home is worth, how that's going to affect the purchase of your next property, and how far you can stretch out that dollar and start planning around that so there's no surprises. Really, really important stuff. Bridge financing doesn't always work out for everybody, so really important that you understand how it's used and why it's used, and why you may want to use it, right? So again, speak to me directly if you are planning to buy and sell a home in the near future. If you're trying to do both at the same time, really, really important you start with a solid plan. And I'm here for that. That's what I do for you. And that's really it, I think, for this week, guys. I will keep you posted next week about some of the things that are developing. We mentioned the Bank of Canada. Really interesting to see what the federal government has in play for us, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. And yeah, I'd love to get your feedback. Like, tell me if you disagree with me, if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm always available to talk to you. I'm always interested in what you have to say. Direct message, email, or call me anytime. Thanks.